something crosses the road. It's skeletal like, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. We just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cow cur, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And he would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out, because the booger will get you.
Welcome to another episode of the Spoiler Name. I'm Luke.
I'm Dustin.
Today we are going to talk about the legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. We figured we'll do a little bit of research and put out a cool episode for the Halloween season. So what's better than the Sleepy Hollow?
The Sleepy Hollow.
The Headless Horseman.
So do you know the full story of the legend of Sleepy Hollow?
Not really.
No? Okay, well let's hold on. Do we have it here? So, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is a short story by Washington Irving, set in the late 1700s in a small village called Sleepy Hollow, New York. It follows the story of Ichabod Crane, a lanky and superstitious schoolteacher who competes with the local hero, Brom Bones, for the affections of a wealthy woman, Katrina Van Tassel. The tale culminates with Ichabod encountering the legendary Headless Horseman, a ghostly figure said to haunt the area. After a terrifying chase, Ichabod mysteriously disappears, leaving only rumors of his fate. Some believe he was spirited away by the Horseman, while others think Brom Bones may have played a prank on him to win Katrina.
That's interesting. That's an interesting story.
Yeah. So, but there's truth to it. Like, This is an actual place.
Yes. Washington Irving is an actual person, too.
Right. He's the one that wrote it. Ichabod Crane, those are all the characters and things. But I think that they were, well, they might not have been, like, represented by anybody, or anybody was represented by them. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow is a real village in New York.
Yes.
And Irving based his story on local legends and the area's spooky reputation. The village celebrates the story today with festivals and events. Local legend. We have a local legend.
We do.
Do you think that if it's a local legend, do you think that there might be some truth to it?
I believe so, yeah. I believe there's a little bit of truth to everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, or do you think maybe the story is what started the local legend?
It's very possible.
Yeah.
So there's different, like, with the Headless Horseman, there's different folklores that deal with it. Headless Horseman. There's one in Irish mythology and in German stories.
Oh, that's interesting. A headless horseman exists in many legends. Dullahan in Irish mythology. Dullahan. What is Dullahan?
I do not know what
And the
Dullahan
wild
is.
huntsman in German stories. You look up the wild huntsman. I'm going to look up Dullahan. Let's see what that is.
In German folklore, the Headless Horseman is known as the wild huntsman. So that's what it is. It's a ghostly hunt through the skies, occupied by a pack of spectral hounds, and the wild huntsman is often noticed with a god eating.
That is interesting. So the Doulahan is a creature from Irish mythology, often depicted as a headless horseman who carries his own head under his arm. It rides a black horse and is said to be the embodiment of death or a harbinger of doom. The Doulahan uses a spine as a whip. That's crazy, and is known to call out the names of those whose deaths are imminent. When it stops riding, someone is destined to die. In some versions of the legend, the Doulahan's head is said to have a hideous grin, and its eyes can see across vast distances, even into the homes of its victims.
That's creepy.
A spine whip. That's the next D&D weapon or something. It has to be. That's amazing.
Spine whip.
The spine whip. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we already talked about how Sleepy Hollow is a real place and real village in New York, and we talked about everything based on the stories of the local legends. The Hessian soldiers were German fighters in the Revolutionary War. A story about a Hessian soldier losing his head in battle might have inspired the Headless Horseman. This adds a little bit of history to the ghostly tale. Now, what if that is the case, like, inspired, like, the Headless Horseman, or, like, it is a real part of the ghostly tale?
Well, I'm noticing that our notes are a little bit vague.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I do remember reading about soldier that fits the description. So in Irving's version, the soldier fought for the British and was killed during the war. He lost his head to a cannonball in battle and was buried without it in the local churchyard in Sleepy Hollow, New York. Since then, his ghost supposedly rises at night, riding through the town in search of his lost head. I wonder if that's not the sightings that people have over there in that cemetery.
It's very possible. It makes a lot of sense. Could you imagine getting your head taken off by a cannonball there?
No, I couldn't. I feel like it would be a painless death.
Right, for sure.
Although the story is fictional, Irving was inspired by actual local legends and the area's history. So there it is. So the story didn't inspire the legend inspired the story. So there may still be some truth behind the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, but it's not what we think.
Right. That's interesting. We never mentioned the cemetery. We didn't. I wish we would have been able to get somebody to come on from the cemetery.
Yeah.
They now they have a cemetery. The cemetery actually does tours and stuff, which I thought was kind of interesting. Man, that sucks. I wish they would have got back to us. That'd have been great.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Now, what if it's more like what we talked about with the Ashwang? Because I see here it says a story explores how fear and superstition can affect people's behavior. What if it's just something that they said to scare people?
What, like the local legend? It's possible. It's definitely possible. You know, I mean, back then, I mean, it still happens today, but what I was getting at is that we tell kids things, you know. How many times have we talked to somebody that was like, yeah, when I was younger, my grandma was like, oh, watch out for the wood booger or whatever. Like, things are used to kind of control people in a way. So I wonder if maybe that might not have been something.
Yeah.
You better make sure you're back before dark, or else the Headless Horseman will get you. Don't go playing in the cemetery. The Headless Horseman is there.
Yeah, right.
But I think the local legend derives from that soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. We should do an episode on that. Hometown ghost stories.
Hometown ghost stories. I would like that. I would like
Mm-hmm.
that. If you have a hometown ghost story, reach out to us. We'd like to hear.
Yes.
We'd like to have you on the podcast.
Even if it's not a whole crazy story, just come. We can maybe put a whole bunch of stories into one episode.
Yeah. All right. So we have an actual encounter. Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Reddit, found a post. Someone has. I don't know how to explain these. Not like the detail of it, but like what it is that we do. But people post encounters on Reddit, and we go and tell their story. So, you ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
It was a quiet night. One of those evenings where the moon was so bright that you could see everything as clear as day. I'd been over my girlfriend's house, and I stayed longer than I meant to. By the time I left, it was well after dark, but the moon lit up the road well enough that I wasn't too worried about it. I was walking along the dirt road, heading home like I'd done plenty of times before, and the only sound was my boots crunching on the gravel. And after a while, I started to hear something else. A horse coming towards me from up ahead. It wasn't unusual to hear a horse in these parts, so I just stepped off the side of the road to give it room, figuring it was someone heading home like me. As the sound got closer, I could see it was an old wagon being pulled by a horse. Something fell off. The horse was moving slow, almost like it was in a trance, and as it passed, I finally got a look at the person driving. That's when my blood ran cold. The figure sitting up in front of the wagon didn't have a head. I froze in place, watching as this figure turned its body towards me like it was staring me down, only there was no eyes to meet. Just a stump of a neck where a head should have been. The wagon kept moving, rolling on down the road, and I just stood there paralyzed until it was completely out of sight. Once it was gone, I snapped out of it and took off running. I didn't care how deep the creek was. I plowed straight through it, just trying to get home as fast as I could. I know it sounds crazy. Trust me, I've thought the same thing myself more times than I can count. But I know what I saw that night. I'll never forget it.
That would be terrifying. For one. I cannot imagine seeing a guy with no head. It'd be like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh yeah, that would be absolutely terrifying. Especially to somebody that's, well, I mean, I doubt anybody's going to be suspecting it, but even more so at night, unsuspecting, and you think, oh, here comes the local farmer with his
horse and buggy,
and then as he passes, he turns towards you, and you look up, and you're like, this dude ain't got a head.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
What if like it reached out? What would you do? Do you run?
Probably, yeah.
Where?
I mean, I'm gonna probably run in fear.
Which way are you going?
I'm going the opposite direction.
Well, yeah, obviously. I don't know. He said he was on a path. Are you gonna go down the path, or are you gonna cut into the woods? I'm cutting into the woods. At least
I probably continued down the path, like the opposite direction that he was going.
The reason I'd go into the woods is because at least at that point I know the horse and buggy ain't gonna come with him. If it's, I can only deal with one.
But if it's a ghost, it can.
Maybe, yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. We really enjoy these types of episodes, doing some research and stuff about the lores and the legends of these different creatures and spirits. From now on, I think we're going to start doing a little bit more of these episodes. And if you haven't already, please go subscribe to YouTube. We go live on every Tuesday and Thursday. We do some Bigfoot research. We do some paranormal investigating. So we have a donation section on the website, exploringtheunknownpod.com. We have a Cash App and PayPal. You can send us a donation there. And in the text box below, send a would you rather question.
Are you good? Was that all the...
I'm good.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, the ghost stop.
Oh, yeah.
We have link down in the description to Ghost Stop. So if you purchase anything through that link, it will help support the show. I am ready.
Okay. This one's a good one. This one's way better than the one that was there. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather face a creature you can't see but always hear behind you, or confront a creature you can see but are powerless to stop from getting closer?
That's hard. I probably have to go with the first one.
Why?
Because, I mean, if you can see it, I think it'd be a lot less terrifying.
If you can't see it or can see it?
If you can. Because if you can hear a Bigfoot or a ghost walking behind you, that's going to be creepy. But if you actually see something, that's going to be even more creepier. Okay, could you imagine walking down the hallway at school, at work, and you hear footsteps behind you? And you don't see anything, and so you're like, okay, that's strange. But if you look behind you and you see someone following you, walking behind you, which one would you be more scared?
The first one.
See, I'd be more scared if I actually seen something.
Really? No, the first one freaks me out more. And because that's what I experience now at school.
Yes, but like, you'd be like, oh, you can just shake it off and be like, oh, that was just weird.
I can't shake it off. It follows me. It caught there. Like if I start feeling like there's something behind me or following me up there, it's all night. It doesn't go away. I can't shake it off. It's still there. But there are nights whenever I go and it doesn't happen at all. But I can't shake it. And I don't like that feeling.
So you would rather see something?
Yeah. I would if I know there's something there, if I know there's something there and I can't see it, now I'm terrified because now I don't feel like I can protect myself. But if I know something's there and I can see it, I feel like I have a better chance because I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even if I am powerless to stop from getting closer. I will do my best to get away.
I said that was a good episode.
Yeah. All right.
Come next time.
Keep exploring the unknown.